This is not just a normal 3 Series from BMW. It is also not just a powerful variant of the 3 Series. It is a car that has been developed with some serious intent. Yes, BMW engineering has gone flat out and come out with a car that truly delivers. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the new BMW M340i xDrive. It is BMW's only 6-cylinder 3 Series option and comes with 4-wheel drive as standard. There is a lot that is different about this car versus the regular 3 Series. So again, it is not just a variant with a different engine. It gets a different steering, different suspension setup, exhaust and brakes. It gets M-design wheels and brake calipers, sportier bumpers, and that snarling mesh grille that really gets your attention. Power is up by over 40 bhp compared to the previous generation 340i, and the M badge only indicates an M performance variant. This is not an M model. That would be the M3. And that's a whole other story on what this 6-cylinder motor can do, but that is for another day. Now, when I drove this car 2 years ago, I remember telling you about how it's a brand new straight 6 developed by BMW. It's not just an incremental enhancement over the old one. And what that gives you is obviously better performance and much better response time. So the car instantly catches on to what you want from it, what you need from it, and all of this has happened mainly. There's lots of changes in the engine, but the big change is in the turbocharging. The entire system has been reworked, and it includes now a steel exhaust manifold, which just helps build up more pressure, so you get that punchier performance much quicker. Yes, this car is fast, very fast, and stays sophisticated throughout. Throw in the quick gear shift, you got the paddle shifters for added excitement, and the extremely precise steering. I mean, I'm at wit's end to tell you what I like most about this car. It's rare that happens because there are so many things. The 500 Nm of peak torque is a delight. To some purists, the fun factor may drop due to the all-wheel drive, but it gives you more precise handling and corrects for any inaccurate steering inputs. The xDrive system is also the latest iteration, and it maintains optimal power distribution between the front and rear axles. The M340i will still keep a rear wheel bias so that it stays true to the BMW character. BMW engineers really focused on that sound. The note that you get from the engine is just so fantastic. It's growly, it's satisfying, it's got this deep rumble, and yet it just gives you the sense of very refined performance. That's something that just needs to convey immediately to you how dynamic this car is, what sort of character it has, and I have to say, job well done. The first time I drove this car was at the Portimao track in Portugal. It was wrapped in camouflage, and yet that grille had really stood out. The M Sport exhaust and Sport Plus mode were my best friends that day. The thing that stands out about the M340i is how, a few years ago, we would have readily accepted this as an M3. I cannot imagine, therefore, how much edgier the actual M3 will be. The current 7th generation 3 Series has great ride quality, though a tad on the stiffer side. On the M340i, it is even stiffer, but that stiff ride complements its performance. The car sits lower by about 10 mm too. It gets a new lift-related damper control and also has the M Sport differential that is electronically controlled. The adaptive M suspension with electronically controlled dampers is just sheer genius. In India, the car drives in with 18-inch wheels. The cabin is very sporty and very well finished. You get M treatment all around with sportier seat belts, SIL badge, and even in the instrument cluster. As expected, being the flagship ensures you get all the bells and whistles on the M340i, from the sunroof to the virtual displays and even the large touchscreen with connectivity and more, all standard. The M340i is all set to be launched in India in just a few days. But what is great is to see the car being built in India too and not coming in as a hugely overpriced import. There is no true rival to it in the segment right now, though eventually we will have the next generation Mercedes-Benz C43 and maybe, if we are really lucky, the Audi S4 too.